Hello, Sally, it's Andy. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for a lovely time on Saturday. Me and Joyce really enjoyed it. No, I made a nice break. Incidentally, did I leave that video there? Has he? Well, I'll get that copy made for you and Tommy. Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, when he grows up, he can see who he looks like, his mum or his dad. No, it's no trouble. Well, you're seeing Joyce tomorrow, aren't you? Well, you give it to her then, and I'll get that copy done. All right. Yeah, I'll be seeing you, Sal. Ta-ra, love. Yes, John.
Tom, Sally?
Yeah. Me and Joyce are quite close to the old family, actually. I'd like to see how his little one's getting on.
Yeah, poor little mate never even knew his dad, did he?
Well, hardly. He was about 6 months old when Tom got killed. I never want to go through anything like that again. Which is why I'm always on to you lot about safety.
Yeah, well, with you and your big brother home movies, plus the dragon from safety, this place is just about sewn up.
Kathy? She's no dragon. She's a sweetheart. Anyway, that's how I like it. Speaking of old movies, who's this cowboy on the telly hoist?
He's with the subby. Ooh, well, don't be too hard on him. His missus just told him to shove off over the weekend.
Yeah, but does he know how to operate that thing?
Look, he's just a bit upset. I only heard it second-hand from Arnie. Forget I said anything. All I came to ask about is that load of scaffold. When's it supposed to arrive? Because Dave and Headlights say you told them they've got to finish that wall today.
It was supposed to be here first thing this morning. Lisa rang him up last night. Lisa, can you do me a favour? Can you chase up the plant yard, see if they've left with that scaffold?
Yeah, sure.
I've already spoken to Dave and Headlights. They're starting on the partition wall for that kiosk until the scaffold arrives for the next lift.
Do they really need another lift to finish?
Yes, they do. I don't want them breaking the backs lifting those blocks. They're bloody heavy. In the meantime, you get your crew stripping out on 7B, and it's clear for the M&E guys.
Andy, sorry to interrupt. Mr. Henderson, he's finally got through on his mobile.
All right. And I'll be out to check on that new driver. Hello, Stuart? You are joking. No, it's still under a metre of water. I've got to be able to supply to that central area B2 where the kiosk is. There's very limited access. Well, we've got dewatering on that part of the site. We've got to get in more pumps for the flooded basement. No, it's unsafe. Kathy's agreed to that. We've had to close it for access, but... Yeah, I'm sure the client is putting a lot of pressure on. Well, but... Yeah, but... With that bad spell of weather, we've lost a couple of weeks. We need to make them up. Yeah, I know the stage payments. And I know the guys want those big fat bonuses if we get to stage 2 on time. But... Stuart! Lloyd, I've lost him.
Oi! Don't dump them there!
I ain't moving them now. I'm only doing what I've been told to do.
Well, you was told wrong, because we don't need any more on this today till we get another lift. And don't leave them bloody well sitting there. We was told you were delivering bricks down at the kiosk area.
Well, nobody told me. Anyway, what do you want another lift for? You've nearly finished. Just to show you I'm all art, I'll give you a hand. Yeah.
I don't like to see the cocky blighter lifting like that at the end of the day.
Anything to oblige.
That's brilliant. We've now got a stack of blocks that are going to be sat in the way if we want anything delivered to the kiosk. And we might as well knock this on the head and get shot of them.
Yeah, I suppose so. And knacking me back in the process.
Ron? It's Andy. Have you got those pipes down to dewatering yet? Well, they've just been on the radio. They said they haven't arrived. No, you were supposed to... No, they don't want... Yes, at the kiosk area. It's all in that note. I left it on your desk last night. Coffee? They'll be down there waiting. No, we've got to keep that area clear. There's a delivery of scaffold. He what? Incidentally, Ron, is he qualified? Has he got his CTA kit? Well, to be quite frank, Ron, when I saw him earlier on the site, I did wonder. Yeah, I know you know the law, Ron. All right, yeah. No, I just heard he'd had a bit of a domestic, that's all. All right, I know you're under pressure, Ron. We all are. OK, thanks, Ron. Very touchy.
There's a guy in a dumper you want to watch out for. He thinks he's Michael Schumacher.
Who, old Arnie? Oh, he's safe as houses. He'll be drawing his pension soon. He's always been very careful. No, it's that new driver I'm interested in. I'm just going to go and pop down there to see how well qualified he is. While I'm at it, I'll check on Arnie Schumacher, see what lap times he's clocking up.
Where's Stuart calls back?
Tell him if he doesn't sort out better site access, everything's going to grind to a halt. Second thoughts, it's probably better coming from me. I'll ring him back later.
Quick! Andy! There's been an accident! His headlights, he's up! Quick, hit the wall!
Hang on, you alright, mate? You alright?
Round here up.
Oh, and Lisa, get onto Ron quickly. Tell him to make sure the ambulance has got good clear sight access. I'll speak to you later.
He's not breathing.
Is there any pulse?
Here, Arnie. You better sit down, mate. You look a bit rough.
Right, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. He's off the critical. And all the signs are there's no brain damage. Thanks to your quick action, Andy.
Thank God. And those first aid lessons did pay off, Kathy.
Yeah, they did. But they didn't do Arnie any good, did it? I've been to see his wife. She's taken it really well. They were looking forward to retirement. Anyway, I found out that he'd been on medication for some time. Chest pains. And, just for the last few days, antidepressants. Seems he was really upset about the breakup of his daughter's marriage. The doctor reckons it might be the antidepressants that made him behave a bit erratic.
And he'd been out the night before, drowning his sorrows.
So, put simply, Arnie had a heart attack, and that's no fault of sight.
You didn't see him pulling those blocks off headlights. He was going like a bloody madman.
All right, all right. There'll still be a full inquiry, Stuart. It's a serious accident. Headlights is still in hospital and he's likely to be off work for some weeks. And Dave will probably be off work for the rest of the week too. The HSE inspector is going to want to know how it happened, why it happened, and whether all the necessary precautions were taken to prevent such an accident. Why wasn't there better access? Why was the access blocked? And why were they working without an extra lift? These blocks are very heavy.
The blocks weren't supposed to be there. And the guys weren't supposed to be working there either. We were still waiting for the scaffold for the next lift. If those guys had done as they were told, none of this would have happened. Yeah, but when in the morning? All right, Lisa. Thanks, love. No, you get going. I'll see you tomorrow. No, it's not going to be here. You're going to have to wrap here first thing and then get started on the kiosk area. I'll let Ron know. And I'll leave him a note to get some muck down here for you to finish first thing, and then the bricks and the muck down to the kiosk. All right, see you tomorrow, lads.
Yeah, see you.
I spoke to Ron on the phone in the morning and I spelt it out to him. It spilt some coffee on it, but it was still legible. By that time, the driver had gone, but Ron wasn't too worried because this driver was supposed to be delivering some pipes down to dewatering first thing. Because it was still raining, he thought he'd stay in the drive, drop the blocks off first. And after he'd spoken to me, Ron said he'd chase the driver up.
You wanted to see me, Andy?
Dave, we weren't expecting you in today, mate.
Still limping a bit, but no damage. I went back to the hospital this morning and they said I was okay. They wouldn't let us see headlights, so I thought I might as well get back here, see if you'd heard anything.
I've just this minute been speaking to the hospital. He's off the critical and they reckon he's going to be fine.
That's the best bit of news I've heard today. What about Arnie?
Massive heart attack. There was nothing anybody could have done for him.
Here, you'd better sit down, mate. And now you're here, you can tell us your side of the story. And why the hell you were still working on that wall instead of on the kiosk?
Well, we was just about to go down the kiosk area when that smart-ass... Sorry, Kathy, when that new guy... I mean, he's all over the place. He dumps a load of blocks right in anyone's way. We thought we'd have to shift them first before we could start down the kiosk.
And you didn't have another lift of scaffold?
Yeah, well, Andy, not all supervisors are as particular about these things as you are. Besides, it wouldn't be the first time we've had to manage without.
Not on one of our sites.
Well, I better not say, had I?
Dave, you're going to have to say, whether we like it or not, you'll have to tell the HSE inspector everything. He's going to want to speak to anyone remotely involved. And he'll particularly want to speak to you and Ron about that new driver.
So, Ron, any news, mate?
Yeah, well, I rang his digs and his missus. Looks like he's done a runner. But I got all his paperwork here, including a photocopy of his CTA card. And yeah, before you ask, he did show it to me and it looked okay.
Well, there's a bit of a black market for those, so you'll have to check on that. Well, he went through induction okay. Yep, you can see why I took him on. If all this is genuine, he's got a load of experience.
Yeah, well, on paper, he looks like Michael bloody Schumacher. What's the funny?
Well, just before the accident, Lisa was telling me that Arnie was going around the site like Michael Schumacher. Of course, I thought she was joking. And I was on my way round to see this cowboy. And I thought I'd check in on Arnie, see what lap times he was clocking up at the same time. Of course, we know what happened then.
Yeah, well, I can't get over old Arnie. I mean, he was always so careful.
Yeah, well, I should have picked up on it sooner.
Look, Andy, it's certainly ain't your fault. I mean, if anyone's to blame, it's me. I should have read your note earlier. You know, on that morning, I was juggling with half a dozen things. What with the weather causing transport and delivery problems, then there was the flooding. I had everyone and his wife onto me. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Look, I know it's pissing with rain, that's why they want the bloody pipes. Here, present for you. Get rid of it on the way out. And when you've done those, don't forget those blocks. I'll get it in the neck if those brickies are kept waiting. Yeah, look, I'll have to get back to you. Or try McAllister's, they do pumps. Okay. Oh, bloody hell. As for Arnie, I heard he went to the crack weeks ago about his ticker. Said everything was okay. Only I cottoned onto this cowboy. Nobody on site told me a bloody dicky bird. Oh yeah, so coming out of the woodwork now. He was useless. Wouldn't trust him pushing a pram. Give him a bloody wide berth if you see him on the road. Why, for heaven's sake, didn't anyone tell me he was a bloody cowboy?
He was with us 2 weeks, Ron. Didn't you see him?
Andy, believe me. I kept my eye on him the first week, just like you're always telling us. He was on the roller and the dumper and he was fine. The forklift was in the plant yard, some problem with the hydraulics. Second week, I hardly saw him at all. He was over with dewatering. And they never told me a bloody dicky bird either.
Well, if he has done a runner, it's the HSE's problem. They'll have to chase him up. Whatever happens, we're not exactly going to come out of this smelling of roses.
I fully accept that bad weather didn't help, but I feel that inadequate provision had been made for access to the central area. Yes, B2.
But surely there has to be recognition of the delay by the client of the project's start date by over 6 weeks. We're well into autumn with bad weather now.
I can't accept that. 6 weeks either way on the contract period would make very little difference with regard to the weather. In part of the preamble to the project health and safety plan, you state, good construction access will be provided at all times, and where possible, separate pedestrian access will be maintained. Now, when you accepted the revised contract for Stage 2, you must have been aware that there would be limited access to the basement slab and B2 because of dewatering.
There was a lot of pressure brought to bear by the client. We could have lost the contract. But we were confident we could maintain good site access.
Your site supervisor wasn't convinced?
What do you mean? What's Andy said?
Andy's a good guy. He's a stickler for safety. Furthermore, he'll back you up and the company all the way. As it happens, Andy hasn't said anything to me. He hasn't needed to. I've read the minutes of the last 3 site meetings, and it's very obvious that Andy Johnson has raised this on a number of occasions. Furthermore, we've got this. Why was a one-way system necessary? Because there weren't sufficient access points with dewatering on the other half of the site. Why was the system shelved?
Any other incriminating evidence on there?
On the contrary, your supervisors know Cecil B. DeMille, but the video shows a very safely run site. Look at this.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Hang on a minute. Look at the time and the date. See what I mean? Not 10 minutes later and the thing's been put right. There are a number of other examples. He doesn't miss a trick. Strictly off the record, I'd say he's been bloody unlucky trying to implement your health and safety plans against all the odds. Next time, listen to him, and you won't end up with this sort of mess.
You lot?
Yeah. Did you get the message on the answer machine? I called in for the video.
No, I haven't listened to it yet. I've only just got it myself, love. What's wrong with it then?
Oh, something to do with the capstan. Anyway, he's only charged me 60 quid for it, so I won't have to fork out for a new one.
So, what news?
Oh, the bloke from the HSE came over again. Seems a decent enough kind of chap.
Well, he's only doing his job.
Then he went over to head office, gave Stuart a hard time. Still no sign of that new driver. So we're just going to have to sit tight and wait. Is it okay if I tape over this?
No, you can't. That's the cassette for Sally.
Oh.
I got it from the video shop today.
Okay, good. We can check it now. The quality's a bit iffy. It's not as good as the original.
Well, the man in the video shop said it was a domestic video, so the copy wouldn't be that good.
You know, after Tom was killed, I swore there'd be no more accidents on a site where I was supervisor.
I know, love. To be my and you've tried your best.
It seems my best isn't good enough. Tom and Arnie. Headlights nearly bought it. Who's going to be next, eh, love?
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death us do part.
Till death us do part.